Right now, 8 billion people are keeping this planet running, pumping water, cooling reactors, feeding animals locked behind fences. Now delete all of them. Not a war, not a plague, just gone. Every single human vanished at midnight tonight. What happens next is way more terrifying and way more beautiful than you think. This is Theoretika, and today we're kicking off our very first What If Wednesday by ending the world. Well, ending our world. Because here's the thing, Earth doesn't need us. It never did. And if we vanished tomorrow, the planet would start erasing every trace of us almost immediately. Let's walk the timeline. Hour 0. The grid starts failing. Most power plants, the natural gas and coal ones, need constant human adjustment. Without operators, fuel feeds stall, turbines trip, and within about 2 to 4 hours, large sections of the electrical grid begin cascading into blackouts. The National Academy of Engineering has flagged the power grid as one of the greatest engineering achievements of the 20th century, and also one of the most fragile. Wind turbines keep spinning until their lubricants dry out or a fault triggers auto shutdown. Solar panels keep producing, for now, but with no grid to feed into, it doesn't matter. Nuclear plants are actually the safest bet short-term. They're designed to scram, that's emergency shutdown, automatically. Control rods drop, fission stops, but the spent fuel pools, those still need active cooling. We'll come back to that. By hour 12, most of the world is dark, except the fires. Lightning strikes with no one to respond. Gas leaks with no one to shut the valves. In cities, electrical shorts ignite buildings. Some of those fires will burn for weeks. Day 1. The pumps stop. Every major city is in a constant war against water. New York's subway system requires over 700 pumps running around the clock to keep groundwater out, pulling about 13 million gallons a day, according to the MTA. Without power, the tunnels begin flooding within 36 hours. London, Tokyo, Mumbai, same story. Underground infrastructure becomes underwater infrastructure. And then there are the 900 million dogs and 600 million cats worldwide. The indoor ones face a grim 1 to 2 weeks unless they break free. Livestock, billions of chickens, pigs and cattle, fenced in, unable to reach water. According to the FAO, the industrialized animals die first. The free-range ones have a shot. By day 3, every zoo in the world becomes either a prison or, if fences fail, something much more interesting. Wolves in Yellowstone didn't need our permission to come back. Imagine that. Everywhere. Week 2. The takeover begins. Vegetation is shockingly aggressive when we're not mowing it, trimming it, and poisoning it. Within a month, crabgrass and dandelions crack through asphalt on residential streets. The root systems of trees, which we've been cutting back for decades, start buckling sidewalks. Month 3. Cockroaches, and I know you assume they'd thrive, actually struggle. Most species we know are tropical. In temperate cities without heating, the German cockroach, the one in your apartment, dead by the first winter. Entomologist Dr. Kobe Schall at NC State has noted that these roaches are almost entirely dependent on human shelter and warmth. Meanwhile, rats explode in population briefly, feasting on our garbage, then crash hard once the easy food runs out and predators like hawks and feral cats catch up. By month 6, the animal hierarchy is reshuffling. Dogs form packs, cats go solitary, and the big winners? Birds. No more glass buildings to fly into. The lights are off. No more cars. No more cats that are well fed enough to hunt for sport. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology estimates that cats alone kill 2.4 billion birds per year in the US. That number drops to near 0. Year 1. Let's talk about those nuclear plants. Remember the spent fuel pools? Without active cooling and water top-offs, about 20 to 30 of the world's 440 reactors could experience fuel damage. This wouldn't be Chernobyl scale. Most pools would boil off slowly, releasing radioactive material locally. The International Atomic Energy Agency's safety assessments show that passively cooled newer designs would fare better. But older plants, especially the ones built in the 70s and 80s, could create exclusion zones that last decades. Ironically, Chernobyl itself shows us what happens next. The exclusion zone is now one of Europe's most biodiverse regions. Wolves, wild horses, lynx, even European bison, all thriving. Radiation is a problem. Humans were a bigger one. Year 5. Most wooden houses in humid climates are in serious structural decline. Termites, mold, water damage. Without maintenance, the average American home lasts about 50 to 75 years, but visible decay starts much sooner. Year 20. Swamps reclaim New Orleans. The Panama Canal, which requires constant dredging and lock operation, silts up, and the land bridge between the Americas begins to reform. Highways become rivers during rainy seasons. Year 25. Most windows in skyscrapers have shattered from thermal cycling and wind. Cities look like concrete skeletons draped in green. 100 years. Almost every wooden structure is gone. Steel bridges, the Golden Gate, Tower Bridge, are collapsing as corrosion eats through cables and bolts. Alan Wiseman, in his landmark book The World Without Us, estimated the Brooklyn Bridge might last 300 years. The Golden Gate, maybe 200 tops in that salty Pacific air. 200 years. The only large structures still standing are stone and concrete. The Hoover Dam, the Great Wall, the pyramids. Glass and steel towers have folded. Most dams have either been overtopped or breached, releasing rivers back into their original paths. Entire ecosystems that haven't existed for centuries are rebooting. 300 years. The oceans are recovering. The ocean had already been showing resilience. Marine biologist Dr. Boris Worm's research in Science showed that overfished stocks can rebound in as little as 10 years with zero pressure. Now imagine 300 years of zero fishing, zero runoff, zero noise pollution. Whale populations, which we drove to 10% of pre-whaling numbers, are back. Coral reefs are in full bloom. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch? Most of it has photodegraded into microplastics and sunk. It's still there, chemically. But the surface ocean looks pristine. 500 years. Forests have reclaimed nearly every city. New York is an old-growth forest, broken up by marshland, where the subway tunnels collapsed. The climate has shifted. CO2 levels have been declining since we stopped burning fossil fuels, though the IPCC models suggest it would take roughly 1,000 years for atmospheric CO2 to return to pre-industrial levels, given ocean absorption rates. 1,000 years. Almost every trace of humanity on the surface is gone. The pyramids of Giza still stand. Barely. They've survived 4,500 years already. Another millennium isn't unreasonable, though sand erosion is relentless. Mount Rushmore, carved from granite, might be recognizable for 7,000 to 10,000 years, one of our longest-lasting signatures. But here's what's wild. 10,000 years out, the most durable evidence of humanity isn't on Earth at all. It's the Voyager probes, still drifting through interstellar space. The golden records strapped to their sides, with our music, our greetings, our DNA structure encoded, will outlast every city, every monument, every fossil we leave behind. NASA estimates the records could survive for over 1 billion years in the vacuum of space. We sent our best selves into the void, and long after the last skyscraper has crumbled to sand, Long after our bones have fossilized and been subducted into the mantle, a little gold disc will still be out there, carrying Beethoven and Chuck Berry and the sound of a mother kissing her newborn. Drifting. Okay, reality check. This is the part of every Theoretika video where we come back down to earth, literally. Here's what this thought experiment actually tells us. We are simultaneously the most destructive and the most creative force this planet has ever seen. In just 10,000 years of civilization, we've altered the atmosphere, reshaped coastlines, driven thousands of species to extinction, and also composed symphonies, cured diseases, and flung ourselves into space. The planet doesn't need us. That's not depressing. It's freeing. Because it means every good thing we do, we're choosing to do. Not because the Earth demands it, because we decided it matters. So maybe the real question isn't, what happens when we disappear? It's, what do we do while we're still here? If you just watched all of that. First of all, welcome to Theoretika. This is our very first video, and we're just getting started. Every Wednesday, we're asking a new what if? And trust me, they get weirder. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And drop a comment. If humans disappeared tomorrow, what would you miss most? I'll see you next Wednesday. Stay curious.